gals, never here from Drinking Game. I'm Sunny on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you on Let's Play episode of Far Beyond the World. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm chain, you are up, and let's go! Preykin mentality, they call it. Finn nods, fixing his gaze on Rannoch. But I bet it's also exciting at times. Well, if you'd like to find out, I suggest you talk to him. You sure? He blinks, both startled and thrilled, and I cannot stop a devilish smirk from creeping onto my face. Oh yeah, he's quite friendly despite appearances. When you approach him, just boop his snout and say, "Hey there, Fluff." What? Trust me, it's an inside joke between us. They'll appreciate it. He won't bite my hand off now, will he? He asks in a mixture of jest and real concern. He looks rather annoyed. We're at the Magistrate's Palace. You're quite safe here. Oh, okay. I'll give it a go. This ought to be good. I take a deep sip of wine, watching Finn stride right to my wolf. And boom goes the dynamite! The bop on the snout causes Rannoch to freeze, almost as if it initiated a system reset. He throws his confused gaze to me, and I can see his lips utter a silent, "What the fuck?" I shrug innocently and return to my drink with wild satisfaction. When Finn comes back sporting a very troubled expression, I barely stop myself from bursting out in laughter. He very crudely told me where I can shove my finger. You did it on purpose, didn't you? Sorry, couldn't help it. He finally let out a chuckle. Both of your expressions were priceless, and you helped me get back at him. Well, not all was bad. The boy shrugs with an odd smile. His snoot is quite cute. And now I get to say I booped a Wolven Alpha. How many others can boast that? I see you're a glass-half-full type of guy. No other way to be. No other way to be. We'll get along nicely. Ha! So it seems. Finn! Until later. Beckoned by his father yet again, the boy reappears on the other side of the courtyard like a summoned Pokemon. Despite my earlier assumptions, the party continues, and I simply sit there and enjoy myself, listening to music and the lively conversation, gently dipping my lips into the tigery moonshine. Vol can say what he likes, but this stuff is quite good. Barely any sting to it, yet it does have a bite. I gently smile at the jokes of the magistrate, yet struggle to keep my attention in check as my longing eyes drift back to Rannoch, who seems utterly lost in his setting. The wolf sits there, grumpy and resigned to his booze, rolling eyes and shaking his head every time someone tries to engage. Such a fussy boy. In a short respite from his schmoozing, Finn offers to refill my cup and I nod, despite it being still half full. I don't want to look like a spoil-sporter or come across too cautious in company. The relaxed and informal atmosphere is much to my liking, and I do my best to reinforce it. Finn tells me of his upbringing, which in all honesty mirrors my first few days in the village, full of mischief and mishaps. His are a hardy people, who value strength and prowess over anything else. Since his build is such as it is, he received little to no recognition amongst his peers. Confined to his home, he spent most days reading books and learning of past and present faraway lands. It's like, water time. Alright, guys and gals, and we are back. Let's go ahead and jump back into it, shall we? I feel sorry for him, but as much as I want to engage in the conversation, I feel oddly distracted. My ears focus on everything else other than his voice, and it takes almost all my willpower to filter in his words. My eyes seem to have a mind of their own as well, as they keep wandering around the garden. Everything glows and shimmers, alluring me with some vague curiosities. I don't know what I'm even looking for. On one such strained gaze, my eyes locked for a brief moment on a quick and bright glimmer. One of the musicians dropped his lute and reached for his cuff. Yep. As he lunges towards our table, my instincts kick in, and as I finally see a dagger thrust in our direction, I slosh my Everclear towards the assailant, right through the candelabra. Swoosh! The booze ignites and scorches his face. Everyone looks in shock in the momentary conflagration, but then the knife shines once again as the musician recovers himself from the initial shock. He pulls on the magistrate's hand, which rested casually across the table, and draws him in closer, readying for a strike. What is the meaning of this? Unpaw me, you... Father! The young knight grabs a shimmering blade, droplets of his lifeblood spilling onto the floor, as he keeps the knife from reaching its quarry. With one massive paw swing, he sends the assailant to the floor, gold and silver coins clinking against the cobbles. I jump, startled, as Rannoch throws over his table and sends it flying. At first, we're all confused, but quickly realized what he was doing. Through a soft grunt, another assailant revealed himself crushed by the weight of the piece of furniture. Light have mercy! What in the world? My wolf jumps into action, his heavy footsteps falling onto the table and drawing an audible groan from the attacker beneath, as he rushes to grab the last musician. He holds him in custody as the magistrate's son approaches with purpose in his gaze and grabs the commoner by the throat. Good call, Wolf. Tell me, scum, who hired you?
I don't know. I had no idea what those two had planned. My good sir, I'm from the music hall. I play regularly at the Stranded Bard. Honest, on Light's loving mercy, I work there. Check with the innkeep. I can see at the corner of the eye as Lady Wrist bends down to pick up a small coin from the ground. She looks at it with curiosity, giving me a rather chilling glance. He speaks the truth. I butt in, drawing everyone's attention. I recognize him. He was accompanying our charming bard at the inn earlier today. Quite right. The barkeep assured me he's his favorite string taughter. I doubt a musician of his caliber would throw his life away in such a lowly fashion.
And who are these two? The iron-clad tiger bops his head demandingly towards the incapacitated would-be assassins.
I don't know. I don't know. They were the ones who approached me about the job. I was recruited but a few hours ago.
Who ordered music? The magistrate calls out, looking around the garden with anger. Well, Portia, speak, damn wench, who was in charge of entertainment?
I don't know.
The frail doe shrinks into her shoulders, distress clearly painted on her face.
This was all last minute, Your Excellency.
It's your damn job to know.
I was about to send a help boy to the inn to hire someone, but that's when those three showed up at my desk. I assumed someone else had arranged for it.
He says in a wavering voice to the magistrate's growing ire. For light's sake, so you've let in a group of strangers.
Well, they did come with a bard. I saw him performing 2 nights ago. He was summoned at your behest.
Foolish girl, your incompetence nearly cost me my life. The male shouts out in anger, a furious growl reverberating deep inside his throat. Father, that's enough. Arethan steps in, holding the assailant in his paws. You yourself argued this very night against too scrupulous vetting of our guests. He slipped through in a very clever way. It would have been hard to prevent it. The magistrate narrows his brows and his muzzle twists into a snarl as he pulls the murderous musician's collar. I hope it was worth it, for you shall hang.
Mercy, Lord!
The pitiful tiger comes around and begs through a shameless howl.
It is His Excellency you're addressing, not some mere lord.
Lady Wrist snaps, ever the stickler for observing the proper form even when facing hardened criminals.
My Excellency!
The would-be murderer continues his wailing.
I have a wife and children. They won't survive without me.
Very well. They shall hang with you. The magistrate sneers, looking to his surprised son with determination.
No, I beg of you.
See it done, Arethan. Your Excellency. I find myself stepping forward to the total surprise of the gathered. I know that having but survived an attempt on your life, the emotion runs high, but perhaps justice should wait until they settle. You tried to kill me at a dinner party. What else would you have me do? He nearly growls at me, all previous kindness banished by this one act of treachery. Whatever you deem fit, as is your prerogative. I bow my head in display of submission and deference, softening slightly the expression on his muzzle. Do as you must, but don't do it on an impulse. Master Orien's right. Arethan nods, drawing the attention of his dazed father. We will exact justice, but there is no haste. We might have something of value other than coin. The old male's brows furrow as he takes a moment to think. Finally, he releases a deep sigh and nods. I refrain from judgment until morning. Keep that vermin under lock. Yes, father. Arethan bows and takes the prisoner into the building. And someone collect that blood money. The magistrate points to the pile of coin and silver littering the floor. Perhaps it will reveal something of use. Again, the wrist woman gives me a telling look and I feel quite unnerved. What did she find? You! Boy! Boy. The magistrate's heavy paw lands on my shoulder and pulls me back to here and now. May all the gods in the world keep you in their favor. You saved my life today.
I did nothing. It was your son who...
You wouldn't know the blade was coming had you not done your part. The male shakes his head in protest, looking at me with a smile.
It was spectacular! Here we talk and enjoy ourselves when only suddenly a knife glimmers in the night, then whoosh! A ball of fire! My word, what song shall I sing?
Willem jumps to my side, pulling at my arm.
I'd witnessed an actual assassination attempt.
I would appreciate, Bard, if you hadn't celebrated my near death with such fervor.
Ah, but you're wrong, Your Excellency. The cat shakes his head teasingly and raising a chalice and a feigned toast. Brushes with death are what's worth celebrating in life the most. I told you, friend, that I would sing about you yet. He elbows me with a wink, and I grimace slightly, unaccustomed to such attention and praise. A hero of Strandbard! He proclaims proudly to the gathered, who give me a round of applause. Hear, hear! A hero! What? No! I try to shake my hands in protest, but that's when the magistrate approaches. A hero indeed. What calamity would befall our city had you been incapacitated, my friend? Lord Gracky's expression falters slightly as he utters those words. You've done us all a service tonight, young man. It feels like nothing, what I did. It feels like anyone would do what they'd do had they been in my shoes. Here. The magistrate says in a hushed tone, removing a decorative pin from his chest. It's a bejeweled harp surrounded by a golden wreath. He secures it to my dress and pats it in place. Wear it with pride as a token of my gratitude. Your Excellency. It's but a trifle in light of your service and the debt I owe you, he says sternly in a loud enough voice for all to hear, and the gathered nod in agreement. Then the magistrate nods, looks to me with an eager smile and extends his paw invitingly. Would gladly take you into my service, lads, would you wish to stay here with me. I can see Rannoch's eyes gleam with the renewed thought of leaving me in someone's care. That'd be great. Perfect for Orien. No? The magistrate raises his brow at the answer, then shoots a quick glance to equally surprised me. Back home, not safe. Nowhere to leave humans safe in Tiger Town, but he's safe here at Palace. Of course, he would have work and lodgings here, that I swear. Thank you, Your Excellency, but Rannoch seems to forget I'm still in his debt. I bow respectfully and then give the wolf a less courteous look, signifying that I'm having none of it. A debt should always be repaid. I can pay it for you. How much does this tribe demand? The tiger shrugs, and again, before Rannoch can even answer, I butt in as politely as I can. I appreciate the gesture, Your Excellency, but I'm not cattle to be bought and sold. The debt is my own, and it is I who must bear it. I wouldn't scoff on such an offer, child. I'm not scoffing. Had the situation been different, I would have taken you up on it. But Rannoch saved my life. That's an obligation I cannot shrug off that easily. Surely you can understand my sentiment better than most here. Indeed. A principled fellow. I admire that. Lord Gracky bops his chalice towards me, and I bow in gratitude for the compliment. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Wow, that was an action-packed scene, y'all. I was kind of expecting something like that to happen. Yep, people were, Rannoch was, very uneasy about being there, and I know why. He probably sensed intent. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there, y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon, YouTube memberships if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!